Oh, we get this off. Charge Attack priority is big here. I think it's Jellicent, and then we just win. Yeah, this is one of those team reading situations you need to recognize. Oh boy, that does so much damage. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm here with Cranberry. We got a little dried beef liver. It doesn't smell that great, but maybe she likes it because, you know, she's a cat. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about Fossil Cup. Overall, it's a pretty small meta, but sometimes the small metas are a little bit more fun too. There's some cheese strats here or there, but overall I've had a lot of success with the team I've been running. It's a Jellicent with a Ferrothorn and a Shadow Poliwrath in the back. And in this video, I believe I was running Scald for all my battles, but I do think that Dynamic Punch has a lot of utility and in some ways is probably a little better, so I would actually probably go for Dynamic Punch if I were playing battles now. It's cheaper than Scald, and for the most part, it's better in a lot of these matchups outside of that Jellicent one, but you're not really winning against Jellicent anyway in most situations with Poliwrath, so I do think the Dynamic Punch is a better option. So let's take a look at these battles. I have two back-to-back sets for you all, so let's get into it. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. To kick things off here, we are going against a Ferrothorn lead, and so this is back when I was starting out the team a little bit, not as familiar with it, and I think the better option against Ferrothorn lead is actually to stay in and just throw Shadow Ball and just let it take you out. Usually speaking, in the back is very, they're usually weak to opposing Ferrothorn because they're usually Poliwrath counters or Lucario counters. And typically there's a Jellicent somewhere there, sometimes a Mantine, sometimes a Gastrodon. So Ferrothorn has a lot of value. So what I usually do here, even though I'm not doing it in this specific video, is I stay in with Jellicent, soft lose the lead, and then if I'm able to land the Surf after the Shadow Ball, then I'll just Bullet Seed down with my Ferrothorn. But if I can't do that, then I'll just counter down with my Poliwrath and then just put everything on my Ferrothorn to clean it up. And usually speaking, there's some Jellicent in there and you can find a way around it. But I assume a Jellicent's going to come out here. Yep, there it is, right? It makes a lot of sense. Really strong pairing between the two of them. And so, yeah, just something to be mindful of. That being said, it's not something I really realized at the time of this battle, so that's why I'm not playing it as well. But just some things to note in case you decide to try this team yourself. Do as I say. Sometimes as I do, but in this case, not quite. But yeah, in this situation, if you're running Dynamic Punch as well too, you just want to throw straight Icy Wind. We do grab a shield out of them, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean, the Skull does help in this specific matchup, like I said. So it does make things a little bit easier. Unfortunately, I don't get the catch to come through. Probably had the Hexus down. I don't know. Maybe I come in Poliwrath. I think Poliwrath would have been better now that I think about it in hindsight. It's probably like a Gastrodon or something in the back. Yeah, that's still super effective damage, all things considered. So not the best. I would have probably got hit by one Shadow Ball anyway. But yeah, there's a Gastrodon as expected. I see a lot of this team composition quite a bit. So now that I've seen it, hopefully you know how to play it a little bit better. All right, we did take a loss on this first game. But like I said, we have two back-to-back sets, so 9 more battles to go. Golisopod, not a bad lead. It's not a great lead, but it's not a bad lead. In the beginning, I saw a few people running Fury Cutter with this instead of Shadow Claw, which honestly was a lot better. So I have a slight itch under my nose. But even with Shadow Claw, though, you usually can grab both shields if you bait first, or if you land a Shadow Ball, great. I usually bait. Sometimes I just go straight Shadow Ball. Just depends on how I'm feeling. But this will allow you, if you do go for the bait, to get to the Shadow Ball. And this person actually chose not to shield at all, the Shadow Ball, actually, which is kind of good for me. And I'm just going to Bullet Seed down. All right, let's see what they have in the back, though. Sometimes they're actually pretty weak to Poliwrath, and that's going to be the case here. Ooh, and they come in for Ferrothorn. It's a great catch by them. But that's going to be good for me because I could just do a lot of counter damage, throw an Icy Wind, and then just debuff the opposing Jellicent to a point where they just can't do too much. I don't think she's really liking this beef liver. You want some more? I don't know. She's not a huge fan. She nibbled it a little bit, but, you know, it is what it is. Dry beef liver. Doesn't sound the most appetizing, but I've seen cats eat weirder stuff, so All right, but in this situation, back to the battle. It's not a terrible spot to be in. I do end up shielding a Surf, which is a little bit unfortunate, but either way, one Shadow Ball is not going to be enough to take me out here, and with the Bolt Seed damage, it should be plenty. Yeah, they just let it go. So we do get that second game. All right, Gastrodon lead, and this one is something that I noticed as well too. Usually I stay in, but because this person's actually swapping out right away, I'm going to just throw a Surf and then just counter down. Poliwrath's like the main answer to this, but it's a pretty good spot to be in because they end up, yeah, I think they lagged quite a bit there, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I think this is kind of a tough matchup for them anyway, because now they have to come into a Poliwrath. Even if they got a shield from me, the Poliwrath counter plus the Skull is going to do a lot of damage to the Gastrodon. I think they might just lag and just quit out, which is understandable. Yeah, kind of how it goes. But luckily, it was not a game that they probably would have won anyway, based on how it looked, but who knows. All right, Mantine lead. You want to kind of be careful with them potentially catching a Shadow Ball here, but generally speaking, it's a pretty good lead because you get this away from the Poliwrath. And I've seen a lot of double ground in the back. Yeah, this is, I think, one of them, too. Double Shadow Mud Slapper with the Alolan Dugtrio and then Excadrill. Oh my gosh, man, what's going on? You trying to wiggle your way out of it? Okay, she's gone. She is gone. I'll drop this little beef liver for her in case she wants to eat it later. That being said, oh my gosh, whole tufts of hair, are in a pretty good position here because we forced the Mantine to shield. And this is good because I'm in a pretty comfortable position. I could just Bolt Seed down, and then in comes a Dugtrio. Like I said, this is a team that's not going to appreciate my backline any way, shape, or form. And we get the win there. All right, Jellicent. This lead is pretty uncomfortable. Now, let me tell you how I play this lead, because I feel like the best way to play it at this point. Shield the first move, because it is Shadow Ball, it's pretty much really rad. So, great that we shielded. I go straight Surf. You build up to Shadow Ball every time, but I go straight Surf. Don't care if they don't shield the first one, don't care if they don't shield the second one. This time I'm playing it a little bit differently, but yeah, they end up shielding. But see how they shield there? If I went Surf again, they 100% shield again. Right? They're probably going Shadow Ball again here too. That's the case. That's fine. I throw my Shadow Ball and we're in a good spot. What I found is that, one, you got to take out their Jellicent because it's really strong to Poliwrath. Two, when you win Switch Advantage here, you're usually in a pretty good spot. And I'm in a pretty good spot. Now, Forretress is pretty annoying for the Poliwrath, so I'm actually going to come in Ferrothorn here. You could tank the Earthquake actually pretty comfortably, and the Volt Switch damage afterwards is not going to do too much. So we're in a still pretty solid position, and in comes the Steelix, and then we're in exactly the matchup we want to be in. And obviously Dynamic Punch here would be better too, because it's a little bit cheaper than the Scald, but that being said, this is still plenty. And yeah, I think we have the Thunder loaded, so even if they Volt Switch me down, it's not going to do too much, because yeah, they can't Volt Switch. They can't throw the Volt Switch won't be enough afterward, even if they land the Earthquake. And I have to move anyway, so we're in a good spot. But anyway, so that's how I play Jellicent Mirror. For anyone that's watching this video that ends up facing me, maybe I'll play it differently. I don't know, but it's worked out well for me, right? At least these days. I just shield everything, and I Surf bait all the way through. Even if they don't shield, even if I have to go down 2 shields, it's not too bad. All right, this is a fantastic lead for me, and then they say swap a Lantern, which is kind of nuts. This team in general is pretty nuts, because I don't know what they do for a Gastrodon lead, but I guess you don't see it super often. I don't know. I mean, every team's weak to something, right? I'm ABA weak to Lantern, ABA weak to Ferrothorn, you know, those kind of things will happen. I'm actually not ABA weak to Ferrothorn, but I don't have great answers for it, I should say. All right, that being said, we get some solid chip damage off against the Magcargo, which is always good. I'm going to actually pivot out here, and the reason why I do this is just for this situation right here. Ludicolo Razor Leaf. In the lead, this is also pretty annoying, but just in case they have it in the back, right, if I let my Ferrothorn go down, I would have been in a really bad position because I wouldn't have an answer to it. Instead now, I have an answer to it, so it's perfect. All right. I probably should have thrown Thunder here. I think it does more damage. I'm actually not fully sure. But they're both neutral, right? So, Thunder might have been the better call there. I'm not sure. Either way, we're in a good position. We get the full counter down. We get a lot of energy. And then we would have beat the Magcargo. So, always have to be careful of those types of composition where they're trying to bait out something and then just like sweep at something else, right? That definitely is kind of a little bit more of a cheese team than usual. But all right, and against Gastrodon, here's what I do. I shield up every potential. I shield the first potential Earth Power. I don't shield the second one. Great catch on the Golisopod, actually. I go straight Surf here because against the Gastrodon, because you need 2 to knock out anyway. There's really no point in going Shadow Ball, in my opinion. All right. This is kind of a weird position for me in hindsight. I mean, maybe I realized it in the time too. But they have a lot of energy on this Golisopod, so it's not going to be easy to finish this off. I do get to the Power Whip. And they had a Gastrodon in the lead, but the reason why I do this is because I'm figured they're probably pretty strong to Ferrothorn in the back, which they are, right? As you saw the Forretress. It's because they're, you know, running double weak to grass in the lead, so of course they have something. So those are sometimes where it really helps you try to understand when to bring something in versus something else. And we get the shield, which is great. And then we come with the Gastrodon. That's good. Ends up being just a body slam, which is also pretty good for me. I'm just going to actually throw this to prevent as much farm as possible. So they get 1 bug bite worth, which is not too bad. It's going to be another Sand Tomb, but the problem is I get bug bite down. So a little bit unfortunate. Probably could have shielded something there instead. Maybe even the Gastrodon might have been worth it. I don't know. It was just a body slam, but might have been worth it. I don't know. All right. Togedemaru. We come in, Ferrothorn, able to grab a shield. It's actually really good for me. It doesn't look good, but the reason why it's good is because I resist everything this Poliwrath has, right? Oh, and they went Power Punch. Oh, I get a second Power Whip. Yeah, this is even better. Completely forgot about this matchup. We get both shields. That's really, really good. That's really, really good for me. All right, and because of that, they're just going Icy Wind, which is fine. I just want to take this out ASAP. Oh, I guess I'm going to overfarm a bit. That's okay too. My guess is they're probably weak to Jellicent in the back, so they're probably not going to swap over to Togedemaru, even if they could. We throw on Charge Track Priority, which is not great, but it avoids them from catching or swapping down, leaving with the Poliwrath. And then we're in a pretty okay spot. This is probably going to be just a Body Slam, but we just got to shield it up and then start throwing the Scald and the counter damage, and it's going to be good. If you don't have a Shadow Poliwrath, I just realized I didn't mention this earlier. Regular is fine. But I think the Shadow is definitely better if you have the option to. So, not everyone does, but... Alright. And then... Here comes the Ferrothorn. Okay, so this is something else, too, I neglected to mention earlier. Just like the Ferrothorn lead, for Forretress lead, you want to stay in, too. Because they're particularly strong, weak into Ferrothorn in the back, is my guess, right? I haven't seen the backline yet. I mean, I played this before, but I completely forgot. My guess is they're pretty strong into... they're pretty weak into Ferrothorn. So because of that, it's actually much better to actually just stay in with Jellicent and then finish off the Forretress with Poliwrath. That's actually the better course of action. So this, this is already not the best into it. I'm guessing it's a Jellicent in the back. I feel like it is. They have a shield advantage too. Yeah, it is. So there's that. So again, this is kind of like thoughts I've had after playing a lot more Fossil Cup is that certain situations like this, you just need to, try to play out when you're ABA weak to Forretress, Ferrothorn, stuff like that. Lantern's another one. Lantern, you shield the Thunderbolt once, you throw it back-to-back Shadow Ball, and then you just farm down with Ferrothorn. And then you try to sweep with the Poliwrath. Usually you can. This is pretty bad for me, though. Jellicent's just going to do way too much damage to my Poliwrath for me to do anything. I can't make a catch or anything like that. And yes, Scald was a little bit better. Just a little bit better than Dynamic Punch for this matchup alone. But it's not good enough. So, again, if I were to run this team right now, I would run it with Dynamic Punch instead of Scald. So that's why I have it in my recommendations in the beginning of the video rather than Scald, even though that's what I'm using in this video. Anyway, just things to note. Okay, so Togedemaru lead. In comes the Shadow Poliwrath. We've seen this before. Do we get both shields? Probably not, but we'll see. Alright, they go Power Punch, then we get it. But this person is going to play it a little bit better and going to throw the Icy Wind instead. Good on them. However, I'm still up a shield, which is nice, and I could leave with some extra energy, which is also really good. Togedemaru is not the bulkiest, so having extra energy banked for later could be handy. And they're also only running Thunder Shock, right? So it's not too much fast attack pressure either. Ooh, it's the Quagsire. Well, that's good. That's really good for me because... Oh, well, they're running Mud Bomb, so maybe not as good, but it's not bad, right? Because it's not something that Poliwrath hard loses to. we get the shield, which is good. Let's see how we play this out here too, because this is getting... Okay, I do get to Icy Wind, which is quite nice. All right, so they have to go for the Wild Charge at this point in time. But that being said, what do I do here? Oh, I swap! Oh, I remember this game now. I end up swapping here, and then they have another move, but it's just Fellslinger. And so we get the counter through and we end up winning it. So kind of a narrow victory there in the end, but a good one, an exciting one to end off on. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. We do go 3-2, 4-1, then 3-2, 2 positive sets. Overall, I think a lot of my losses here, like against a Ferrothorn lead, against a Forretress lead, if you play a little bit better, right, staying with the Jellicent, then you have a higher chance of winning those. So a lot of those losses I just were, you know, unpreventable, or were preventable, right, if I played it better. So that's what I'm telling you all, how to play a little bit better, and yeah, play better than me, and you'll climb to legends sooner than I can. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Best of luck in your own climb as well. Coming up this week, yeah, it should be this week, I'm creating a big video. So I'm going to need your help on this one, because it's going to be a video leading up to World Championships, and I'm going to just be detailing what Pokemon Go PvP is. Everyone that's already watching my videos, you already know all this stuff. But what I really need your help on is to get this video out to other people that don't, because World Championships is 2 weeks away, and I'm sure some people will be tuning in and be like, what is this, right? And some people will be watching Worlds for the first time ever, right? Maybe even you. And I'm going to give you a brief overview of what that is, what people could look forward to, and just understand Pokemon Go PvP as a whole. Just like a nice introductory video to Pokemon Go PvP. I feel like we're kind of overdue for one of those. I mean, I'm sure there are some out there already, but like an update on that. I never made one myself, so this will be my first. But it's going to be a bigger project, and just give me all a little teaser on it. But again, I would really appreciate any help. Share with any locals or friends you may have that don't know anything about PvP. I know I'm sharing with my parents, so they actually know what I do for work. But yeah, so that's going to be that. So be on the lookout for that. I appreciate you all for your support as always. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share. Subscribe for future content. Hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, which I don't think is actually fully accurate, because my mom has that notification bell marked. And she was like, you upload a video at like 5 a.m. your time? I was like, no, it was like the night before. But she got notified at 5 a.m. my time. So, I don't know. YouTube notification bell, maybe not as accurate as it could be, but hit it anyway if you want to see the video. Maybe not right when I post it, maybe like 5 hours after. That's totally fine too. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I'm rambling. Hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all next video. Peace out.